And once again, we switch mics. So here we go. So the best thing about this man is his industrious nature. I got a chance to speak to his son, who will come up a bit later on, and he was telling me about the man himself as a father. Now, we've known him as an athlete, we know him as a man who's run the marathon, Chicago, Berlin, but what do we know of him as a father? If you want to know a parent, speak to the children or the spouse. And the son actually mentioned to me that as a disciplinarian, fathers in the house, he didn't beat some sense into him, which I found very funny. Instead, he is a man who likes to have a conversation, loves to point out facts, and allows you as a son, and I'm sure most of the people who work with him, allows you to make educated, well-informed, and right decisions. I found that very interesting of him as a father, because with my interactions, I can understand where that son is coming from. He does, however, tell me, his father tells him, you will be successful if you run, play golf, and live life. So I like that motto. I like that motto very much. Let's all run, play golf, and live life. You could decide to play football as well. If you play for the national team, you could be earning $1 million per win. If you play anything. My goodness, guys, we can't have a serious face. We're about to celebrate ourselves. This is a tough crowd. I thought some of those jokes were funny, but hey, I understand. When Joe Sang comes in, and the honorable members who are coming in with him, I would love us to give him just a warm applause, just show him that we're happy. They'll be here in just a moment, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritties of the event. I, on the other hand, I am buying time. All right, I was going to call someone up, but they are coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is, the man in blue, Joe Sang, accompanied by Honorable John Mbadi. That's the National Treasury CS. We have Migos Ogam, who's also Cabinet Secretary for Education, the German Ambassador to Kenya, Ambassador Sebastian Groth, and the PS State Department of Petroleum, Mohammed Liban. All protocols once again observed. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen, for checking in. And now I guess we can get the show on the road. Thank you, Joe Sang, for coming in. It's a tough crowd. I'd love to hear your speech. It's a tough crowd. I was trying really hard, but I'm glad you're here. They'd rather hear from you than they would from me. And so I'll keep it short. Now we'll start the event. And once again, for the speakers who are coming up, I will do this for you so you don't have to come in and you could just say all protocols observed and you can continue with your speeches. I would like to acknowledge our key guests here, CS, National Treasury, John Mbadi is in the house, Cabinet Secretary, Education, Migos Ogam, German Ambassador to Kenya, Ambassador Sebastian Groth, and the PS State Department of Petroleum, Mohammed Liban. All protocols observed. We honor you and we thank you for honoring this moment. And as I was saying, the first man who will speak to us is a man that knows Joe very well. He knows Joe Sang. He is a counselor, the only people allowed apparently to say my learned friends, because the rest of us are not learned or friends. He is also the Vice President of Athletics Kenya, the one and only. Round of applause as we bring in the JSF, which is the Joe Sang Foundation Chair, Gennaro Kibet. And considering you're his friend, you better give us an interesting story that we don't know about Joe.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, MC.
Friday claimed 9 lives and injured others when the staff bus...
I need a lawyer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. And please allow me to join in the warm protocols already observed by by our MC. And firstly, on behalf of Joe Sang and the trustees of the Joe Sang Foundation, I wish to thank each one of you this morning for joining us. We're here not only to celebrate and unveil Joe Sang as he prepares to take on the streets of the city of Berlin, but more importantly, to stand with him in a mission bigger than Marathon. That is giving children from disadvantaged backgrounds a chance at education and brighter future. The MC has mentioned our chief guest, our CSs. There are a number of chairs of various institutions, managing directors of various companies and institutions, captains of industry. We have donors, we have sponsors, we are friends of Joe Sang, we are friends of the foundation. We thank each one of you. A special word of gratitude goes to His Excellency, the German ambassador to Kenya, Ambassador Sebastian Groth. Your Excellency, thank you for joining us with your member of staff from the embassy, and for accepting to be part of this unveiling and welcoming Joe Sang to the streets of Berlin. Your support for this project is a true blessing for the cause. Many of you will remember that last year, Mr. Joe Sang, now affectionately known as the running CEO, ran 42 kilometers in Chicago. With your incredible support thereafter, that single effort has started changing lives. Children who once saw no hope are now in school. Parents and guardians of some of those children are here with us this morning, and their gratitude is beyond measure. Thank you very much, each one of you. And to ensure that this impact continues, Joe Sang and the trustees set up the Joe Sang Foundation in September last year. With trustees, fully with trustees, volunteers, and structures that are now firmly in place, the foundation is committed to building a sustainable endowment fund to support the education of the underprivileged children. And at this point, I'd like to request the trustees who are here, if you can just stand. I am the chair of the foundation. We have Mr. Joe Sang as a trustee as well. We have Mr. Ian Kibet Rono. We have Diana Oche. We have Lillian Jiru and Miriam Maulidi. Thank you very much, trustees. So today we stand together to encourage Mr. Sang as he prepares to run in the Berlin Marathon with a bold goal of breaking his personal record. I think his personal record is 3.07 or 3.09. His goal is to break it to under 3. So with that very courageous goal, we as the trustees also set ourselves a goal to raise Kenya shillings 200 million for the endowment fund. As at now, and through your efforts from last year, I think as this morning we just got about 20 million shillings in the cash. And our aim is to raise 100 million shillings before Joe hits the streets of Berlin. I'm sure with your support, with your courage, both financial and in every gift, we will achieve so that the dream that he has set to ensure that underprivileged children are educated is achieved. And I'm very happy that we have the Minister for Education here, also who's my learned friend, Mheshimiwa Migos Ogamba. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, every contribution, however modest, makes an enduring impact. Each gift secures a future for a child, and collectively we are shaping a generation of capable and responsible leaders. And we appeal to you for your very generous support. I know there are institutions and personalities who have pledged, they've come with their donations today. We will be accepting them thereafter. For those of you as well who wish to support, whether you want to support by sponsoring every kilometer or every mile, all that money will go into the trust for purposes that the trust has set. And now with that, because we are running out of time, it is now my greatest pleasure to welcome to the podium Mr. Joe Sang, a man whose vision, courage, and passion inspires all to share his reflections. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana.
Give your neighbor a high five and tell them karibuni. What a day. Our Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury, Honorable John Buddy, our Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education, Honorable Julius Migos Ogamba, Your Excellency, the German Ambassador, my friend Sebastian Goth, Principal Secretary in our Ministry of State Department, Dr. Mohamed Liban, fellow captains of industry, friends, fellow runners, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm truly humbled and excited to stand before you today on what is really a very special day for me, and I hope for the lives of many others. Today, we gather here not only to launch the Joe Sang Foundation, but also to send me off on a journey that is very personal. My participation in the BMW Berlin Marathon 2025, happening on the 21st of September 2025. Allow me to start by sincerely thanking each and every one of you for creating time to be with us this morning. Essence not only motivates me, but affirms the vision that I'm setting out is not mine alone, but one that resonates with all of us who believe in the power of compassion, community, and shared humanity. I also want to thank my immediate family who are here today, and I'd like to request them to stand. My wife Rose is there. That is Tyler, Trevor, and we have Kyla. I also want to acknowledge my colleagues from Kenya Pipeline who are here. I'll request them to stand and wave to the crowd. We have a big team from Kenya Pipeline Company. We have Honorable Joyce Emanicol representing the Board of Directors. And there's a special team. I would like to thank them this morning. This is the team we run with every morning, every other morning at 4 a.m. without fail. This is the team led by John Terrell of Car City Limited. We have Emmanuel from Safaricom. And there is Victor. And we also have David Poe, who is the captain of the running fitness group. I know that David is here. And of course, all our friends who have worked with me through the years, challenging me, encouraging me, and inspiring me and reminding me that service to others is the highest calling that one can be called to answer. The Joe Sang Foundation is born out of our deep and personal conviction that every child deserves a chance to dream, to learn, to grow, and to succeed. Too many children in our communities today still face doubting challenges. And one of them is lack of access to education in terms of quality, inadequate healthcare, and limited mentorship opportunities. At Joe Sang Foundation, our mission is transforming lives one child at a time. It is simple yet profound. We believe that change, the sweeping waves, it can begin with one child, one family, one act of kindness, and ripple out to transform the entire communities. After all, it takes a spark to get a fire going, and soon all around you will find warmth and light in its glow. Some of you may wonder this morning why I've chosen to link the launch to my Berlin Marathon. And running for me has always been more than a physical activity. It's more mental and physical stamina. It is a metaphor for life, a discipline, and a vehicle, more importantly, for purpose. When I run, and normally for the fellow runners in the room, for those of us who are tempted to run 21:42, when you get to kilometer 35, we call it a wall. Your body tells you to stop, but your mind tells you have to keep going. There are so many walls today, and through mental resilience and balance, we're able to accomplish. And the wall that we are facing today is one of underprivileged children in our society. Those who are unable to access the quality education that they so need. And these children, we seek to support through the foundation, need us to walk with them, run with them, beside them, cheering them on, opening doors, supporting them at their own course, and more importantly, helping them cross the finish line. So as I lace up my shoes for Berlin, I do so not for personal glory, not for recognition or for medal, but to raise awareness and to rally support for the countless lives that deserve a fighting chance. But I cannot do this alone, friends. As African proverb, if you want to walk fast, you walk alone. But if you want to go far, you go with others. The foundation success depends on all of us. We need partners, we need mentors, we need collaborators, and more importantly, we need friends who are willing to commit their resources, their time, as well as their expertise to this worthy cause. This morning, I therefore invite you to be part of my journey. This journey, where contributing resources, volunteering your time, or simply sharing the stories of the children we seek to uplift, together we can create opportunities where none existed, hope where it seems lost, and more importantly, transformation where it is needed the most. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to borrow the words from Stephen Krellet, who says, I shall pass this wall but once. Any good, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Let me not devour or neglect, for I shall not pass this way again. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in transforming one child at a time. God bless you all. God bless your Sang Foundation. Asanteni sana.
Has told us the why. We know what we're doing here. We know who we are here, and now we know why. Transforming lives one child at a time. At one point he was talking about marathon. Never ran a marathon myself, so it was very interesting to hear that at about 35 kilometers you hit the wall. I hit that wall at 40. But I'm running from my problems, not a marathon. 40 years, then I realized when you give to someone who can give back, no, that's investment. Giving is when you help someone who is less fortunate, who has no way of ever repaying you back. And that is why we are all here. It's quite the bid, 200 million. But looking at the faces here and knowing that you are all here for the cause, I don't think that's too far off. That's why, right now, I'd like to bring in someone who knows a little bit about Josang and giving. Gave him an education, I'm sure. Gave him some lessons in life. Gave him life, to be honest with you. Round of applause as we bring up the family member, Tyler Bellion, his son, to come up and tell us a bit more about himself and his dad. A father, by the way, unlike mine, who was an adamant believer of spare the rod, forget to spoil the child. He just didn't believe you should spare the rod. And now we have an opportunity now to hear from a son who was brought up differently. Before he begins, I'd like to say, if your car is KBS 501U, a Prado, please attend to your vehicle. Prado, KBS 501U, attend to your vehicle. Meanwhile, welcome.
Distinguished guests, partners, friends, and family, all protocols observed, good morning. Come on, guys, the breakfast was good. Good morning. I know mornings in Nairobi traffic aren't always easy, so if you've made it here, congratulations. You've basically done your own small marathon, dodging potholes, hooting at matatus. So today is special not just because we're sending my dad off to Berlin, but because we're recognizing and celebrating the spirit behind his journey. Last year when my dad told me about his plan to participate in the Chicago Marathon and about this foundation, I honestly thought he was crazy. An international marathon, you know. Not only was he sacrificing a lot of time and effort to go all the way, but when he got there, he would exhaust himself with running 42 kilometers straight. By show of hands, how many of us in the house are runners? Runners. I only see a few hands. So most of us, we don't really understand the burden of running 42 kilometers. 42 kilometers.